Hi everyone, so it's time for the monthly favorites again, and this time I don't have a lot of beauty favorites because I don't really like changing up my beauty routine too much. Just whatever keeps my skin happy, I just keep using it. But I do have a lot of food related items and kitchen tools and things like that. So let's get started. So let's start with the beauty, I guess, because there are only a couple of items. And my first favorite is Rosewater, and you know that I've been loving it forever. But I've always had just a bottle like that, and I used to use it as a toner on a bit of cotton pad. But last month I got a little tiny spray bottle. I just put some rose water from this bigger bottle inside, and I use it for two reasons. I use it as a refreshing spray during the day if it's hot or if my skin is dry for some reason. And also I use it as a makeup setting spray, and it's amazing because if you spray it on yourself right after you apply makeup, especially if you use powder makeup, it definitely makes it blend in and look so much more natural. And it smells amazing. I just love it so much. This bottle is definitely quite a good thing to add to my routine. And the next favorite is something I talked about in my last video, and it's Indian herbs. I've been really enjoying playing around with my Indian herbs. So I've got amla and shikakai powder, and also my soap nuts. And I made a video about a shampoo that you can make using these things, but there are endless variations. You can just do shikakai and amla, you can also add soap nuts, and you can just do a lot of things with these. You can also add henna and yogurt, and you can do like a hair pack with it. So I guess we're done with the beauty, and let's move on to the kitchen. So first of all, if you follow me on Instagram, you will know that I managed to break my food processor a while ago. So I ordered a new one from Amazon, and it took a while to arrive, but last month it finally arrived, and it looks like this. I can't believe that I didn't order anything like this before, because it's so small and it's also really cheap compared to the previous one I had, and it's so much better. It's from a brand called Cuisineart, which I think is a really good brand, but it's a mini food processor, and it has two options for chopping and grinding, which is something so useful, because with this little thing I can grind nuts and make wonderful nut butter. And I can even make my own flour from all kinds of grains. So I'm so happy with it, because the one I had before was just for chopping vegetables, and it wasn't really powerful enough to grind nuts. So this is awesome. And with this little thing I've been making a lot of different things. Managed to make an amazing coconut butter. I also made some tahini, hummus, amazing chicken liver pate, and also an amazing pesto, and my husband said it was better than the one his aunt used to make, so I guess it's really good. And I just wanted to let you know as well that I'm planning to make a video series called, I don't know, something like Back to Basics or something like that, and just to show you how to make these basic things at home, such as mayonnaise, such as pesto, such as tahini or hummus, things like that. People generally buy them from the store, but you can make them at home for a fraction of the price, and it's super easy and healthy for you. So I think that's what I'm going to do, and tell me what you think of this idea. My second kitchen related favorite is this Dutch oven. It's so heavy and it's huge. I think it's 6.5 quarts or 6.5 liters. It's pretty big, and it's made of Enamelled cast iron. It's a French brand, but you can buy them from any kind of brand. And I use it mostly for making stews and anything that needs to be cooked slowly in the oven. You can use it either on the hob or in the oven, so that's pretty versatile. And you can even use it as a crock pot, which is something I've always wanted to try. It's wonderful for cooking food slowly. Which is really good for all kinds of grains, beans, lentils. And the cool thing about it is that it distributes the temperature around really evenly, so nothing's going to stick, nothing's going to burn. I also really wanted it because it's wonderful to make bread. I don't like when the crust of the bread is too hard and too crunchy, so this kind of oven is perfect for that. I can't wait to try my own sourdough bread in this little thing very soon, as soon as my gluten-free challenge finishes. I've been trying to switch to cast iron pots as much as possible in my kitchen, and actually my husband wrote a blog post on my blog a couple of weeks ago about the benefits of cast iron pots and how to look after them, how to choose them, and so on. So if you're interested, I will put a link down in the description box. I've got one food favorite, and that's homemade applesauce. I made a couple of weeks for the first time and I fell in love, so I made 4 more jars now and it's going to be ready this evening. And it's so easy. You can either use raw apples or you can cook them on the hob a little bit. If you use raw apples, you need a food processor or a blender to make a nice smooth paste. You just need to add a bit of whey and leave it in the room temperature for 3 days and you have the most delicious applesauce ever. And I also added a bit of cinnamon and a bit of nutmeg and it tastes amazing. I really like using it with meatballs or any kind of meat. My grandma actually used to do it like that, so it reminds me of my childhood and it keeps me very happy. So now it's time to move on to the book favorites, and this month I read a lot of books, but 2 of them stood out for me. So the first one is called The Diet Recovery by Matt Stone. A lot of people hate that guy and a lot of people love him. I think that there were a lot of very, very smart ideas in the book. I don't agree with everything, just like any book I read, I never agree with everything, but I really do like the book. And I think my problem has been that I've read so much about nutrition and I've tried so many different diets and I've been fanatical at times. I think that it's really important to really relax and stop overanalyzing things and stop looking for the perfect diet and just to really listen to my body and refeed myself and give myself more rest, give myself more sleep and try and increase my metabolism. This book is all about that really, just how to recover from dieting and from watching your calories and from being afraid of carbs or being afraid of fats or whatever it is. Me personally, because I've been on the paleo diet for a while, I've been afraid of carbs, and the thing is that being a woman I really need carbs. So this book has definitely given me a lot of thoughts. If you are interested in how to recover from dieting, then definitely get this book. And the second book I read was also a very, very famous and very old book from Weston A. Price, and it's called Nutrition and Degeneration. I'm sure you've probably already heard of it if you are following the Weston A. Price Foundation or if you're interested in healthy teeth. And as you know, I'm very interested in healing my teeth and my gums, so I've always read a lot of different books that use extracts from Weston A. Price's book, but I've never read the actual book. So one of my readers, Eric, actually sent me the book and I read it finally. It's amazing because I really got to see that it doesn't matter how all these different cultures and tribes get their nutrients, doesn't matter where they get the nutrients from, as long as they get all of them, they'll be healthy. So some of them get them from seafoods, others get them from land animals, from dairy, from whole grains and different vegetables. But the thing that stands out is that Weston A. Price didn't manage to find any cultures in the world that would be reproducing and being healthy, eating just plant-based foods without any animal foods. So that to me really stood out because that's what I've always believed as well. It was amazing to see how in all these different cultures, whenever white flour and sugar and canned foods and all these candies and sweets, whenever they arrive to those cultures, their health and teeth and everything deteriorated so much. You know, I'd rather get my own wheat and grind it myself at home and make my own homemade pizza. At least I will know that I'm getting a lot of nutrition from it, and it's healthy, and it's not really a cheat, it's just a healthy and nutritious meal. I was about to forget one of the food items, but another favorite this month has been chestnuts. I'm absolutely obsessed with them, and as they're in season right now here on the island, we've been eating them every single weekend. We have this amazing farmers market in our town, and in the farmers market they actually have a little corner where they cook them on fire and they taste amazing, and they're super good for you nutrition wise because they're full of all kinds of minerals such as iron, phosphorus, magnesium and zinc and potassium. They also have folates, which is really unusual for nuts. They're also very high in vitamin C, strangely, for nuts. And they're also quite different from other nuts because they're not very high in fat. They have more starch, so they're more similar to things like sweet potatoes. So they give you a lot of energy and they just taste so good, especially when they're cooked on fire. So the next time, actually these ones are raw and we're going to try and cook them on fire. But you can also boil them, you can roast them in the oven. And if you roast them in the oven, you just need to cut a little cross to make sure they don't explode. And they taste really good. And you can make things like chestnut butter, which tastes amazing. I haven't tried yet, but this is the plan for these babies. So I think they're going to go out of season in a couple of weeks or so, but until then, we're going to enjoy them as much as we can. These are all my favorites. I hope that you enjoy them. I know that there are not many, but I wanted to talk to you about them anyway, and I guess I just really missed making videos. I know I've been a bit absent lately from my YouTube channel and from my blog, but that's because we're really struggling with our internet connection. The speeds are crazy. In fact, whenever we check our internet, it says something like that our internet is slower than 99% of the world's internet connections. So that's pretty sad. It's really impossible to even open my email. I'm not even talking about uploading videos or making blog posts. So I'm really trying my hardest, and I hope that you will bear with me. So I guess the next video will be that Back to Basics series that I mentioned before, and I'll show you how to make all of these amazing basics at home using your food processor or blender. So stay tuned if you are interested. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!